I lit the candle like I always did. Hi, Elara, I whispered, kneeling beside the grave. Guess what? The city's just as awful without you. Maybe worse. I placed the white lilies down, her favorite. My fingers brushed the cold stone. I hated how permanent it felt. You remember that coffee shop on 6th? The one you said had the best almond croissants. I went there today. Thought of you. I laughed under my breath. Of course I did. I always do. The silence mocked me. Just wind, trees. And the ache in my chest. You know, I murmured. They told me grief fades. It doesn't. It just changes shape. I stood, brushing the dirt from my jeans. See you next month. Leaving her always felt like ripping a piece of myself out. But that's what I did now. Rip, repair, repeat. The cafe was just a block away. I stepped inside and ordered the usual. Americano, 1 sugar, no cream. The barista said with a smile. I nodded. Thanks. I turned toward the window, sipping the bitterness when something outside made my hand freeze midair. There she was. No. The coffee slipped from my fingers and hit the floor. Shards flew. People gasped. I didn't care because she was there, across the street, laughing, talking to a vendor. Alive, Elara, I whispered. The barista touched my arm. Sir? Are you? I shoved past her, bolted through the door, heart racing so fast I could barely breathe. Elara, I shouted, dodging cars. Elara, she turned. For half a second, our eyes locked. Same sea glass green dot, same dimple on the left cheek dot, same silver chain around her neck, the one I buried her with. She gasped, turned and ran. Elara, wait. I chased her through the crowd, pushing bodies aside. Please. But she was fast, slipping between people like smoke. I followed the blur of her long brown coat, her auburn hair catching the sun. I turned the corner, lungs burning. Gone. I stood there, panting, spinning in circles like a madman. Elara, I screamed. People stared. One woman clutched her purse tighter. A man backed away slowly. She was here, I muttered, gripping my knees. She was right here. Was I going insane? Back at the cafe, they had cleaned the mess. I didn't even remember dropping the cup. I stumbled outside again. The street looked normal, ordinary, but nothing felt ordinary anymore. I pulled out my phone. Her number, still saved. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering, and then I pressed call. Disconnected, of course. I sat on the bench outside, rubbing my eyes. Maybe you're just losing it, I whispered. But I saw her. I know what I saw. The necklace. I placed it on her myself, in that casket, her favorite one. The one I gave her on our 2nd anniversary. I buried her. I saw the flames. Unless she was never in that fire, I said aloud. The words chilling me more than the wind. What if she wasn't? What if someone lied? What if she faked it? But why? I pulled out my wallet and took out her photo. The one I carried for 2 years. You were in a hallucination, I whispered, tracing her smile. She was real. Alive, and I was going to find her, even if it killed me. You've been here for days in a row, man, the barista muttered, sliding me another black coffee. You waiting for someone? I nodded. Yeah, a ghost. He blinked. Right? I sat at the same window table again, eyes glued to the sidewalk outside. Same scarf, same necklace, same face. I knew what I saw. But she hadn't come back, not once, not yet. The bell above the door rang. I didn't look up. Not her. Still playing detective, came Mara's voice behind me. I sighed. Don't start. She pulled out the chair across from me. Then stop acting like a lunatic. She was here, Mara. I saw her. You said that 3 days ago. I'm not crazy. I didn't say you were. I said you're grieving. I slammed the cup down. She wore the same necklace, the one I buried her with. You think I imagine that too? Mara leaned in, lowering her voice. Maybe someone else had that necklace. Maybe it was similar. It was her. I looked into her eyes. You buried her, Adon. I stood up. You think I don't know that? She stared at me, heartbroken. What if you're just chasing your guilt? I didn't answer. I couldn't. I left her at the table. Again. That night, I stood across a street from the alley I saw her disappear into. I'd followed the girl Elara for 3 blocks the night before. She'd walked fast like she knew someone was watching. Maybe she did. She entered a building with cracked bricks and no buzzer. Just a rusted green door and a broken mailbox. The nameplate read nothing. I waited. 10 minutes. 1 hour. Still no sign of her. I leaned against a lamppost, my breath fogged up in the cold. Come on, Elara. Show me I'm not insane. Footsteps behind me. Seriously, said Castian, you're stalking women in the dark now. I turned. Who told you, Mara? She's worried about you. I'm fine. You're standing outside a building at midnight, muttering your dead fiancé's name. That doesn't scream fine, Aid. I rubbed my eyes. You wouldn't understand. He sighed. I understand enough to know you need sleep and a therapist. She's in there. Castian, I followed her, You need help. I need the truth. He shoved his hands in his pockets. You've got a grave, a death certificate, and a body they pulled out of the ashes. No dental confirmation, just assumptions. Adon, I'm not leaving. He stared at me like I was a stranger. Fine. Freeze to death out here if you want. Then he walked away. I stayed by 2:30 a.m. My eyes were dry. The building was dark, silent, empty looking. Maybe I was losing it. I leaned back on the bench. She's not real, I whispered. She's just my brain trying to fix what broke. A soft light flicked on in the third-floor window. I sat up. A figure moved past the glass dot, and then there it was, a flash of blue silk, her scarf. Elara's scarf. I stood so fast I almost tripped. The shadow stood still. Watching. So did I. The light blinked out. I stayed another hour. But she never came out. She was in there. I know she was. I wasn't crazy, not anymore. I need to talk to you, I said, slamming Cashin's office door shut behind me. He looked up from his laptop. Jesus, Adon, you scared the hell out of me. She's alive. His face dropped. What? Elara? I saw her. He laughed. But it was too forced. You've got to stop this, man. I followed her. I know where she lives. Third-floor apartment above a deli on Baxter. Adon. I saw her scarf in the window. She didn't even try to hide it. He stood. You're spiraling again. Don't do that. I snapped. Don't act like I'm losing it just because it's easier for you. He crossed his arms. What do you want me to say? I want you to tell me what you know. I don't know anything, liar. I'm not lying. You flinched. He blinked. What? When I said she was alive, you flinched. He looked away. You're reading into things, Cashin, I said, stepping closer. We buried her. You cried harder than anyone. But you're lying to me now. And I could feel it. He exhaled sharply. You should go home. Get some sleep. You're hiding something. I'm protecting you. I paused. From what? I can't. You can. Or you won't. He didn't answer. That told me everything that night. I stood in front of the rusted green door again. The apartment building looked even worse up close. Cracked concrete, broken steps. No cameras. Perfect place to hide. I waited until someone came out. Slipped inside before the door clicked shut. My heart pounded so hard I felt it in my throat. Third floor. Apartment 3C. I reached the door. No sound. I hesitated. Then I picked the lock. She always left things unlocked. Maybe she still did. Click. The door creaked open. I stepped inside. Same perfume. Light? Floral. Elara's, a couch, a shelf, a framed photo. Her with a dog I didn't recognize. And then, in the drawer of a desk near the window I found it. A photo. Of me and her laughing, holding hands. 3 months ago. Written on the back in her handwriting. I sat down hard. 3 months ago. What the hell? Cashin opened the door before I even knocked. I went inside her place. I said. His face paled. You what? You didn't answer me. So I found out myself. Adon, she kept a photo of us. With a date, from this year. He looked sick, so talk, I demanded. Now. He rubbed his face. You're not going to like it. I already don't. She's alive. He whispered. She faked everything. I stepped back. You knew. I didn't find out until months later. Bullshit. I swear, you let me bury her. You let me fall apart. You sat next to me at her funeral. I was trying to protect you. I shoved him hard. Stop saying that. She was scared. Adon. She said if anyone knew, she'd be in danger. I promised I wouldn't tell you. Danger from who? He hesitated. Tell me. I can't. My fist connected with his jaw before I could stop myself. He stumbled back. Clutching his face. You owed me, I growled. I trusted you. I was protecting her. No. You were covering for her. There's a difference. She begged me. She left me. Silence. I turned to leave. Adon. He called. I didn't look back. I slammed the door behind me. Why are you here? Her mother asked, arms crossed, eyes colder than the wind outside. I need answers, I said. I think Elara's alive. She blinked once. That's cruel, even for you. I saw her. A week ago. She looked me right in the eye. Elara died in that fire. She didn't. You buried her. I buried a closed casket. I snapped. No DNA. No dental, just a burnt body and a bunch of assumptions. She hesitated. I leaned in. You hesitated. She scoffed. You're imagining things. No. I'm remembering things. Like how you never cried at her funeral. Not once. She was my daughter. You never acted like she was. You have no idea what we went through. Then tell me. She stepped back. You should leave. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me the truth. She ran. She whispered, voice suddenly brittle. She always ran from everything, even me. Why? She was scared of what she never said. But I know the look. I've worn it myself. I stared at her, stunned. She's gone. She said, and if she isn't, maybe she should be. I turned and walked out before I said something I couldn't take back. I tracked down Sophie the next morning at the community center, where she taught art. She looked like she hadn't slept in weeks. Adon, she said, stunned. Wow, it's been 2 years, yeah. She glanced around nervously. Why are you here? I saw her, Sophie. Elara. She froze. That's not funny. I'm not joking. That's impossible. She was walking down Baxter Street, same hair, same necklace, same scar on her right wrist. Her eyes welled up. Oh my God, you knew, didn't you? She looked away. You knew, I didn't know she was still alive, she whispered. But, I knew she was planning something. Why didn't you tell me? She made me swear. She was shaking the last time I saw her, said someone was following her. Said if anything happened, to stay quiet, who, she wouldn't say, but she looked haunted. I leaned forward. Was it Julian? Her lips trembled. She never said his name, but he showed up at her apartment once, unannounced, drunk. Said things. Ugly things. I clenched my fists. He threatened her, I think so. She never went into detail. Just packed a bag and disappeared 2 days later, and no one thought to tell me? She was trying to protect you, she said, wiping her eyes. She loved you. But she thought being near you would get you both hurt. I said slowly, I need to find her. If she wanted to be found, she'd have called. She didn't count on me seeing her. Sophie opened her purse. Wait. She pulled out a tiny glass bottle. This was hers. I found it after she left. I opened it and the scent hit me like a punch. Lavender and citrus. Elara, I breathed. This is a perfume she wore every day. Sophie nodded. Sometimes I spray it just to remember. That night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello, Mr. Rivers? A deep voice asked. Detective Keller. I sat up. Yes? We met briefly during the investigation into Miss Bennett's death, I remember. Well, he cleared his throat. I requested a re-examination of the fire report after you reached out last week, and there were inconsistencies. What kind? The body recovered was female. But the height and dental records don't align with Elara's medical file. My chest tightened. So it wasn't her, we can't be certain. But the ID was rushed, circumstantial. I stood up, pacing. Why didn't anyone catch this before? We were under pressure. You and her mother both identified the necklace. She always wore it. Yes, and someone made sure it was found, so someone planted it. I didn't say that. But I'd advise you to be careful, Mr. Rivers. If she faked her death, she had a reason. I think I know who that reason is. Julian Blake. Yeah. I'll look into him, meanwhile. Keep your head down. Thanks, detective. I hung up. Julian. It had to be him. And if he was still out there, then so was she. She stepped out of the apartment building just past midnight. Same coat, same hair, same haunted eyes. Elara. She froze. Her hand tightened around her bag. You've got the wrong person. No. I said softly. I don't. She turned. Slowly. I don't know you. Yes, you do. I said I don't. Elara Bennett, born July 8th. You hate thunderstorms and love honey in your tea. You cried when we watched up. But not when your father left. Stop, she whispered. I stepped closer. You were wearing this when I buried you. I held up the silver necklace, the one she wasn't wearing tonight. Her eyes locked on it, and everything in her face cracked. Where did you get that? You left it in your drawer, next to a photo of us dated 3 months ago. She looked down. You shouldn't have come. Then tell me why you're not dead. I had to go. Why? I didn't have a choice. You let me think you burned alive. Her voice trembled. Because if I didn't disappear, Julian would have killed you? I blinked. What? I tried to leave him before. He followed me. Found me. You don't know what he's capable of? You could have told me. I couldn't. He said if I contacted you, he'd kill you? Slowly. You let me grieve you. I watched your funeral from a car down the street, she whispered. I nearly got out. But then I saw Julian standing near the trees, smiling. I felt like I couldn't breathe. You ran to protect me, she nodded. For 2 years. I wanted to call every single day. Then why didn't you? Because I found out I was pregnant. I stepped back. What? I was 3 weeks along when I disappeared. I thought if I stayed hidden, he'd never know. I lost her after for months. Elara, she wiped her cheek. Don't. I deserve your anger. No. You don't deserve this. She looked up. You should go. Someone's been watching me, a man. I think Julian knows I'm still alive. Then come with me right now. I'll keep you safe. No. Elara, I can't. You don't trust me. I trust you more than anyone. But trusting you could get you killed. I've been walking through hell without you. I don't care what it costs. I'm not leaving you again. She shook her head. You don't understand what he's like. Then make me. You think this ends with me leaving town? He'll never stop. He has people, money, eyes everywhere. Let me help. Even if I wanted to, it's too late. No, it's not. We go to the police. I know a detective. He won't stop. And I won't risk you. I already am at risk. He came after me once. She gasped. He did. Someone set fire to my place. Detective Keller thinks it's connected. Her hand flew to her mouth. You're not the only one running anymore. She looked at me, broken. Do you still love me? Always. I don't deserve it, you do. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Ghost, don't cry, I whispered. She laughed softly, bitterly. Then I guess I'm not a ghost. No, I said, stepping forward, brushing her tear away. You're real. And I'm not losing you again. She placed her hand on my chest. Just give me time. Promise me you won't disappear again. I'll try. I need more than try. I promise, I'll try. I exhaled. It's not enough, I know. She pulled away, and just like that, she vanished into the shadows again. You ate on Rivers. The voice came from behind me, calm, controlled, dangerous. I turned. Julian Blake stood just outside the bookstore, hands in his pockets, smile razor sharp. What do you want? He stepped closer. Heard you've been digging up ghosts, just trying to find the truth. Careful, he said, eyes narrowing. Sometimes the truth gets people hurt. I laughed once. You threatening me, Julian? I'm giving you advice. Let sleeping ashes lie. She's not ashes. His smile faded. You think you're a hero, don't you, running around like some noble savior? She ran because of you. Or maybe she ran because she couldn't handle her lies anymore. I clenched my fists. You laid a hand on her. Prove it. I stepped toward him. I don't need proof to break your face, he smirked. You should really be more careful. Accidents happen, like fires. He leaned in, exactly like that. I found Cashin that evening at Mara's birthday party. Music blared. People laughed. I wasn't in the mood, Cass, I said, pulling him aside. He's back, Julian. I saw him. He paled. We're outside the bookstore. Said I was poking around too much. Cashin sighed. Damn. You knew, didn't you? I didn't know he'd come back. But you knew he was dangerous. Cashin looked away. I knew everything, Adon, about Elara, about the threats. I even helped her disappear. I stared at him. Why? She begged me, said it was the only way to keep you alive. You should have told me. I couldn't. You could have trusted me. I did. That's why I kept the secret. I shook my head. You don't get to twist this into loyalty. I was trying to keep you safe. Well, guess what? You failed. Julian showed up an hour later. Smooth as ever, with a drink in hand and charm on his face. He worked the room like he owned it. Then I saw him hand on Mara's arm, whispering something in her ear. She laughed politely. He didn't move away. I lost it. Get your hands off her. I snapped, marching across the room. He turned, mocking smile already forming. Relax. We're just talking. I punched him hard. He staggered back, blood spilling from his lip. You're insane, he said, wiping it off. Touch her again, and I'll do worse. He stared at me for a long second, then smiled. You're just like her, reckless and stupid. Cashin pulled me back before I could swing again. She's dead. Adon, Julian muttered, again. What did you say? She's gone. You're lying. He shrugged. Maybe not. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat on the couch. Elara's necklace in my hand, heart racing. Every creak in the walls made me flinch. I got up to get water. The smell hit me first sharp, smoky. Then I heard the crackling. No. I ran to the kitchen. Flames crawled across the window curtains. My chest tightened. Fire, I shouted, grabbing a jacket and my phone. I kicked the door open, coughing. He chased me down the hall. My lungs screamed. Down the stairs, through the front door, out into the cold. I collapsed on the pavement, gasping. Neighbors screamed. Sirens wailed in the distance. I looked back. My apartment gone. I pulled out my phone, hands shaking. Elara. No answer. Please, I whispered. Pick up. Voicemail. I tried again and again. Nothing. Don't do this, I begged. Don't vanish on me again. I stared at the dark sky. Had I just lost her? Again. You're sure this'll work? I asked, pacing outside the old warehouse. Detective Keller nodded, checking his watch. Julian thinks she'll be alone. He won't resist showing up. And if he brought backup, we've got eyes. Snipers, SWAT, let him try. I clenched my fists. If he lays a hand on her, he won't get the chance. I looked around. The place was silent, almost a calm. My stomach twisted. You don't have to be here, Keller added. I do. I need to hear him say it. Keller nodded once. Then let's finish this. The black car pulled in 5 minutes later. Julian stepped out, alone, sunglasses on, smirk in place. No one else, Keller murmured into his mic. A voice crackled back. He's alone. Julian approached the warehouse doors, slow and confident. Elara, he called. It's just me. I watched from behind the two-way mirror, heart racing. She's not coming, Keller said, stepping up from the shadows. Julian froze. What? She's safe. He turned, jaw-tied. This is a setup. Of course it is. Julian laughed bitterly. You cops are so dramatic, Keller motioned. 2 officers appeared, blocking the exit. I stepped forward. Why'd you do it? Julian's smile faded. Ah, the grieving widower. She was terrified of you, she was mine, you took her, she left you. He shook his head. She was never supposed to leave, you threatened her. I warned her. You tried to kill us both. He raised an eyebrow. Is that what she told you? You set the fire? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. You're proud of it. I'm proud you finally look like the wreck I wanted you to be. You forced her to fake her death. She begged me to stop, said she'd disappear if I let her go. I made sure she stayed gone, had eyes on her every week. I stepped forward. You enjoyed it. Watching me grieve. I needed you to feel what I felt. You're a monster? He smirked. I'm a man who lost everything, and now you'll lose your freedom. Keller nodded. Take him. Cuffs clicked. Julian didn't flinch. This isn't over, he said, looking at me. You think I'm the only one. What does that mean? There's still someone else pulling strings, someone bigger. Keller narrowed his eyes. Names. Julian grinned. You'll figure it out, if you live long enough. They dragged him away. Hours later, I stood in the motel parking lot, still shaking. I didn't hear her walk up. Adon, she whispered. I turned to Elara. She looked thinner, paler, tired in a way I'd never seen. But she was alive. Elara, I said, voice cracking. She rushed into my arms, burying her face in my chest. I thought I lost you. I breathed. You almost did. He's gone. Rusted. I know. I saw the news. He admitted everything, the fire, the threats. Watching you, I couldn't sleep, she whispered. Every noise felt like him. He won't hurt you again. She pulled back, fingers brushing her neck. There's more. He wasn't working alone, I know. Keller said the same. I think it's his father. He's always covered for Julian. We'll find him together. Her hand trembled as she touched the faint scar on her arm. I still smell the smoke sometimes. In my dreams, we'll make new ones. She smiled faintly. That's the first time you've said we in a long time, because now we have a chance. She looked into my eyes. You still love me. I never stopped. A tear rolled down her cheek. Then don't let me disappear again. I won't, I whispered. You're mine now. And ghosts don't get second chances. I'm not a ghost, she said, wrapping her fingers around mine. No, I whispered, kissing her forehead. But the fire left marks we'll never forget. She glanced at her scar again, then up at me. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's proof we survived. You still can't cook eggs, Elara said, laughing as I scraped the pan. I wasn't trying to cook them. I was trying to reinvent breakfast. You're reinventing smoke alarms. I like to keep things exciting. She walked over, kissed my cheek. You keep things messy. Messy is honest. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I'll take messy, as long as it's real. It's real, I whispered, setting the pan down. Cashin knocked an hour later, flowers in one hand, guilt in his eyes. I come in peace, he said. Depends, I said, crossing my arms. You bringing donuts? Better, truce donuts. And an apology. Elara smiled from the kitchen. We're short on friends, let him in. I stepped aside. You get one coffee. Then we start roasting you for all your bad decisions. I deserve it. You do, Elara said softly. But you also helped save us. Cashin looked down. I was scared. I didn't know how deep Julian's connections went. You should have trusted us, I said. I do now. Good, Elara nodded. Then sit down and pass the sugar. We visited Mara that afternoon. She looked radiant in white, veil flowing like something out of a movie. I'm getting married and you're late, she scolded. We brought champagne, I said. Forgiven. Elara hugged her tightly. You look beautiful. You look alive. I feel it, Elara whispered. Later, we stood at the cemetery. The fake grave was still there, small, weather-worn and cruel. Elara knelt beside it, placing a single red rose. She didn't speak for a long time. Then quietly, she died in the fire. I swallowed. But I survived, she whispered, brushing dust from the stone. I knelt beside her, reached into my pocket. What's that? She asked. I opened the box. Inside, a necklace, delicate gold, with a tiny phoenix pendant. To the girl who lived, I said. She blinked fast. Adon, I want you to wear it, not to forget what happened, but to remember you made it through. Her hands trembled as she fastened it. This one's not for hiding, she said. It's for healing. We stood together, silence, thick with memory. Do you regret coming back? I asked. She shook her head. Do you never? As we walked back to the car, hand in hand, the wind picked up, scattering leaves across the graveyard. You think we're finally free? She asked. Free enough. She smiled. That's all I need. We didn't speak the rest of the way. We didn't have to, because in the stillness of that quiet afternoon, I realized something. She died in the fire. But the woman beside me, she's more alive than ever.